Hello, welcome to Rhode Island Spirituality. I'm Joe Mahan. Today's podcast, I'll be reading passages from the Holy Bible, Proverbs. A wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. Cast in your lot among us. Let us all have one purse, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. If you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasure. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk uprightly. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. For whom the Lord loves, he corrects, just as a father the son in whom he delights. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gains understanding. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things you may desire cannot compare with her. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy are all who retain her. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. Yes, you will lie down, and your sleep will be sweet. For the Lord will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from being caught. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all your getting, get understanding. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of evil. But the path of the just is like the shining sun that shines ever brighter onto the perfect day. Remove your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house. Listen, for I will speak of excellent things, and from the opening of my lips will come right things. All the words of my mouth are with righteousness. Nothing crooked or perverse is in them. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things one may desire cannot be compared with her. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently will find me. My fruit is better than gold, yes, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver, that I may cause those who love me to inherit wealth, that I may fill their treasuries. I have been established from everlasting, from the beginning, before there was ever an earth. Now, therefore, listen to me, my children, for blessed are those who keep my ways. For whoever finds me finds life, and obtains favor from the Lord. Forsake foolishness and live, and go in the way of understanding. He who walks with integrity walks securely, but he who perverts his ways will become known. He who keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses correction goes astray. Whoever hides hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool. In the multitude of words, sin is not lacking, but he who restrains his lips is wise. The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. When pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. Those who are of a perverse heart are an abomination to the Lord, but the blameless in their ways are his delight. The generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will also be watered himself. He who earnestly seeks good finds favor, but trouble will come to him who seeks evil. The fruit of righteousness is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. Whoever loves instructions loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. A man will be condemned according to his wisdom, but he who is of a perverse heart will be despised. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he who heeds counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is known at once, but a prudent man covers shame. The truthful lip shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who deal truthfully are his delight. Anxiety is in the heart of man causes depression, but a good word makes it glad. The lazy man does not roast what he took in hunting, but diligence is man's precious possession. He who guards his mouth preserves his life, but he who opens wide his lips shall have destruction. There is one who makes himself rich, yet has nothing, and one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches. Wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished, but he who gathers by labor will increase. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to turn one away from the snares of death. Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool lays open his folly. Poverty and shame will come to him who disdains correction, but he who regards a rebuke will be honored. A desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is an abomination to fools to depart from evil. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. The house of the wicked will be overthrown, but the tent of the upright will flourish. The backslider in heart will be filled with his own ways, but a good man will be satisfied from above. The simple believe every word, but the prudent considers well his steps. He who despises his neighbor sins, but he who has mercy on the poor, happy is he. In all labor there is profit, but idle chatter leads only to poverty. He who oppresses the poor reproaches his Maker, but he who honors him has mercy on the needy. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life. A merry heart makes a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he who is of a merry heart has a continual feast. The way of the lazy man is like a hedge of thorns, but the way of the upright is a highway. Without counsel, plans go awry, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. The way of life winds upward for the wise, that he may turn away from hell below. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes will live. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart, and a good report makes the bones healthy. The ear that hears the rebukes of life will abide among the wise. He who disdains instruction despises his own soul, but he who heeds rebuke gets understanding. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. When a man's ways please the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. Honest weights and scales are the Lord's, and all weights in the bag are his work. How much better to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding is to be chosen rather than silver. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He who keeps his way preserves his soul. Better to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. He who heeds the word wisely will find good, and whoever trusts in the Lord, happy is he. Pleasant words are like honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bones. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who takes a city. Let a man meet a bear robbed of her cubs rather than a fool in his folly. A merry heart does good, like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. A wicked man accepts a bribe behind the back to pervert the ways of justice. He who has knowledge spares his words, and a man of understanding is of a calm spirit. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment. The words of the talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down into the inmost body. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. The spirit of a man will sustain him in sickness, but who can bear a broken spirit? A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. A man's stomach shall be satisfied from the fruit of his mouth, from the produce of his lips he shall be filled. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife finds a good thing, and obtains favor from the Lord. A man who has friends must himself be friendly, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. The foolishness of a man twists his way, and his heart frets against the Lord. He who gets wisdom loves his own soul. He who keeps understanding will find good. The discretion of a man makes him slow to anger, and his glory is to overlook a transgression. Listen to counsel and receive instruction, that you may be wise in your latter days. What is desired in a man is kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. Cease listening to instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. Who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin? Do not love sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you will be satisfied with bread. Do not say, I will recompense evil. Wait for the Lord, and he will save you. The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart. The glory of young men is their strength, and the splendor of old men is their gray head. The plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but those of everyone who is hasty surely to poverty. The way of a guilty man is perverse, but as for the pure, his work is right. Whoever shuts his ears to the cry of the poor will also cry himself and not be heard. He who loves pleasure will be a poor man. He who loves wine and oil will not be rich. He who follows righteousness and mercy finds life, righteousness and honor. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and brings down the trusted stronghold. Whoever guards his mouth and tongue keeps his soul from trouble. The desire of the lazy man kills him, for his hands refuse to labor. There is no wisdom or understanding or counsel against the Lord. The horse is prepared for the day of battle, but deliverance is of the Lord. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor in life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse, but he who guards his soul will be far from them. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old he will not depart from it. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He who sows iniquity will reap sorrow, and the rod of his anger will fail. He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. He who loves purity of heart and has grace on his lips, the king will be his friend. Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within you. Let them all be fixed upon your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I have instructed you today, even you. Have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge, that I may make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may answer words of truth. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man do not go. Do you see a man who excels in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Apply your heart to instruction, and your ears to words of knowledge. Yes, my inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak right things. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but be zealous for the fear of the Lord all the day. For surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. Let your father and your mother be glad, and let her who bore you rejoice. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes observe my ways. A wise man is strong, yes. A man of knowledge increases strength. If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. My son, eat honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to your taste. For a righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again, but the wicked shall fall by calamity. But those who rebuke the wicked will have delight, and a good blessing will come upon them. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver. The north wind brings forth rain, and a backbiting tongue an angry countenance. Whoever has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. As a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. As a door turns on its hinges, so does the lazy man on his bed. A lazy man is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who can answer sensibly. He who passes by and meddles in a quarrel not his own is like one who takes a dog by the ears. Let another man praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. Open rebuke is better than love carefully concealed. Like a bird that wanders from its nest is a man who wanders from his place. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. The simple pass on and are punished. As iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens his countenance of his friend. As in water face reflects face, so a man's heart reveals the man. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks, and attend to your herds. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Evil men do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand all. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one perverse in his ways, though he be rich. One who turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination. He who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. Happy is the man who is always reverent, but he who hardens his heart will fall into calamity. Like a roaring lion and a charging bear is a wicked ruler over poor people. Whoever walks blamelessly will be saved, but he who is perverse in his ways will suddenly fall. He who trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whoever walks wisely will be delivered. Whoever loves wisdom makes his father rejoice, but a companion of harlots wastes his wealth. By transgression an evil man is snared, but the righteous sings and rejoices. If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether the fool rages or laughs, there is no peace. A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. Where there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint, but happy is he who keeps the law. A man's pride will bring him low, but the humble in spirit will retain honor. Many seek the ruler's favor, but justice for man comes from the Lord. Surely I am more stupid than any man, and do not have the understanding of a man. I neither learn wisdom nor have knowledge of the Holy One. Who has ascended into heaven or descended? Who has gathered the winds of his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? Every word of God is pure. He is a shield to those who put their trust in him. Remove falsehood and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food allotted to me. There is a generation that is pure in its own eyes, yet is not washed from filthiness. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes intoxicating drink. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, to give prudence to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion, to understand a proverb and an enigma, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother. For they will be grateful ornament on your head, and chains about your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait to shed blood. Let us lurk secretly for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them alive like Saul the whole, like those who go down to the pit. We will find all kinds of precious possession. We shall fill our houses with spoil. My son, do not walk in the way with them. keep your foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, but they lie in wait for their own blood. They lurk secretly for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone who is greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owners. Wisdom calls aloud outside. She raises her voice in the open squares. She cries out in the chief concourses. At the opening of the gates in the city, she speaks her words. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? For scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn at my rebuke. Surely I will pour out my spirit on you. I will make my words known to you. Because I have called you, I have stretched out my hand, and no one regarded. Because you disdained all my counsel, and would not have none of my rebuke. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your terror comes. They would have none of my counsel and despise my every rebuke. But whoever listens to me will dwell safely and will be secure without fear of evil. My son, if you receive my words and treasure my commands within you, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He guards the paths of justice and preserves the way of his saints. Then you will understand righteousness and justice in every good path. When wisdom enters your heart and knowledge is pleasant to your soul, discretion will preserve you, understanding will keep you, to deliver you from the way of evil, from the man who speaks perverse things, from those who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice in doing evil and delight in the perversity of the wicked, whose ways are crooked and who are devious in their paths, to deliver you from the immoral woman, from the seductress who flatters with her words, who forsakes the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For upright will dwell in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. My son, do not forget my law, but let your heart keep my command. For length of days and long life and peace they will add to you. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths were broken up. The clouds dropped down the dew. My son, let them not depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So they will be life to your soul and grace to your neck. Then you will walk safely in your way, and your foot will not stumble. Do not be afraid of sudden terror, nor of trouble from the wicked when it comes, for the Lord will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those whom it is due, when it is in the power of your hand to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come back, and tomorrow I will give it, when you have it with you. Do not strive with a man without cause, if he has done you no harm. Do not envy the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the legacy of fools. Hear, my children, the instruction of a father, and give attention to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Do not forsake my law. When I was my father's son, tender and the only one in the sight of my mother, he also taught me and said to me, let your heart retain my words, keep my commands and live. Hear, my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of your life will be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in right paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hindered, and when you run, you will not stumble. Take firm hold of instruction. Do not let go. Keep her, for she is your life. For they do not sleep unless they have done evil, and their sleep is taken away unless they make someone fall. Do not let them depart from your eyes. Keep them in the midst of your heart. For they are life to those who find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep your heart with diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life. Put away from a deceitful mouth, and put perverse lips far from you. Let your eyes look straight ahead, and your eyelids look right before you. Ponder the path of your feet, and let all your ways be established. Do not turn to the right or the left. Remove your foot from evil. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Lend your ear to my understanding, that you may preserve discretion, and your lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of an immoral woman drip honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. I was on the verge of total ruin in the midst of the assembly and congregation. Drink water from your own cistern and running water from your own well. Should your fountains be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets? Let them be only your way, your own, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. As a loving deer and a graceful doe, let her breast satisfy you at all times, and always be entrapped with her love. My son, if you become surety for your friend, if you have shaken hands in a pledge for a stranger, you are snared by the words of your mouth. You are not taken by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, and deliver yourself, for you have come into the hand of your friend. Go and humble yourself. Plead with your friend. Give no sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids. Deliver yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, and like a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise, which having no captain, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer and gathers her food in the harvest. These 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. My son, keep your father's command, and do not forsake the law of your mother. Bind them continually upon your heart, tie them around your neck. When you roam, they will lead you. When you sleep, they will keep you. When you awake, they will speak with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law a light. Reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep you from evil woman, from the flattering tongue of a seductress. Do not lust after her beauty in your heart, nor let her allure you with her eyelids. Can a man take fire to his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Can one walk on hot coals, and his feet not be seared? So is he who goes in his neighbor's wife. Whoever touches her shall not be innocent. He will accept no recompense, nor will he be appeased through you. Give many gifts. My son, keep my words, and treasure my commands within you. Keep my commands and live, and my law as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your nearest kin, that they may keep you from the immoral woman, from the seductress who flatters with their words. Does not wisdom cry out, and understanding lift up her voice? She cries out by the gates at the entry of the city, at the entrance of the doors. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out her 7 pillars. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your days will be multiplied, and years of life will be added to you. If you are wise for yourself, and if you scoff, you will bear it alone. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. And as for him who lacks understanding, she says to him, stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he does not know that the dead are there, that their guests are in the depths of hell. The Proverbs of Solomon, a wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is the grief of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord will not allow the righteous soul to famish, but he casts away the desires of the wicked. He who gathers in summer is a wise son. He who sleeps in harvest is a son who causes shame. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. He who winks with the eye causes trouble. The mouth of the righteous is well of life, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. Wise people store up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The way of the Lord is strength for the upright, but destruction will come to the workers of iniquity. The righteous will never be removed, but the wicked will not inhabit the earth. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked what is perverse. The righteous of the blameless will direct his way aright, but the wicked will fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright will deliver them, but the unfaithful will be caught by their lust. By the blessing of the upright the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He who is devoid of wisdom despises his neighbor, but a man of understanding holds his peace. A gracious woman retains honor, but ruthless men retain riches. As righteousness leads to life, so he who pursues evil pursues it to his own death. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. He who trusts in his riches will fail, but the righteous will flourish like foliage. Whoever loves instruction loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. A man is not established by wickedness, but the root of righteousness cannot be moved. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who causes shame is like rottenness in the bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsel of the wicked are deceitful. A righteous man regards the life of his animal, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He who tills his land will be satisfied with bread, but he who follows frivolity is devoid of understanding. A man will be established with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands will be rendered to him. He who speaks truth declares righteousness, but a false witness deceit. There is one who speaks like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise promotes health. The hand of the diligent will rule, but the lazy man will be put to forced labor. The righteous should choose his friends carefully, for the way of the wicked leads them astray. A righteous man hates lying, but a wicked man is lonesome and comes to shame. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. He who walks in his uprightness fears the Lord, but he who preserves in his ways despises him. A faithful witness does not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Even in laughter the heart may be sorrow, and the end of mirth may be grief. A wise man fears and departs from evil, but a fool rages in his self-confidence. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The poor man is hated even by his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. A true witness delivers souls, but a deceitful witness speaks lies. Wisdom rests in the heart of him who has understanding, but what is in the heart of fools is made known. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The king's favor is toward a wise servant, but his wrath is against him who causes shame. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of the fools pours forth foolishness. A fool despises his father's instruction, but he who receives correction is prudent. Hell and destruction are before the Lord, so how much more the hearts of the sons of men? The heart of him who has understanding seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fools feeds on foolishness. Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure with trouble. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a fatted calf with hatred. A wise son makes his father glad, but a foolish man despises his mother. A man has joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season how good it is. The heart of the righteous studies how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours forth evil. He who has knowledge spares his word, and a man of understanding is of a calm spirit. I hope you enjoyed those passages from the Holy Bible, Proverbs. You've been listening to a podcast of Rhode Island spirituality. My name is Joe Mahan. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. God bless.